My name is Matt Rich. I'm the senior pastor here at Unity Presbyterian Church, and I want to welcome you to this week's edition of Life Together. This coming Sunday is March the 14th. We continue in our stewardship season as well as the season of Lent around the theme, the joy set before us. That particular language actually comes from Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, as we see in Jesus, who for the sake of the joy set before him, endured the cross. Last Sunday, we talked about the ways in which we keep seeing Jesus on the cross, and how in the midst of the most challenging moments in our lives, we know that because of the cross, because of the three crosses Jesus hung with the criminals, one on his right and one on his left, that we know that Jesus draws near to us in those most difficult times, that others in this congregation draw near to us as well. That kind of joy that comes from Christ's presence and the presence of others allows us to make a pledge, to give even when the future seems uncertain. We're going to talk this week in a creative way about how we begin to live our stories in the midst of this good news. As we begin to live out of gratitude for all that God has done for us, what does that mean for how we shape our lives as a part of this great cloud of witnesses that surrounds us? Part of the ways in which we do that is by making a pledge. Now, in my mind, I'll just share with you up front, making a pledge is something we do all the time. When Sarah and I bought our new house here in Fort Mill, we made a pledge to the bank that we were going to pay them back for the money that they loaned us so that we could do that. Every time I put my credit card through a slider or put that in so it can read the chip, I'm making a pledge that I'm going to pay for this thing that the store just gave me for giving them a piece of plastic. We do this all the time. We make a pledge, we make a promise that influences what we say we're going to do in the future. Making a pledge to the church is a way that we might say that God is not just going to be an afterthought in our lives. No, our relationship with Jesus Christ, our commitment to the ministry of Christ in this place is going to be a priority for us. We're going to put it first, and we're going to allow it to be a determining factor for other decisions that we make in our lives. We certainly do that with our financial resources, and that's the reason we ask you to return your pledge card on Stewardship Sunday, Commitment Sunday, which is March the 21st, not this week, but next Sunday. It's a way for us as a church not only to have a sense of what the budget's going to be, but primarily a way for you to demonstrate that Christ indeed is going to be a priority in your life. As you make that priority in your life, we also know that the ways in which you might make a pledge of your time and your talents. This is a wonderful congregation to produce these resources for you, the opportunity booklets and the time and talent forms that you can use to indicate the ways in which you already are serving or the ways in which you'd like to serve in this new upcoming year together. We know that some of those are changing. We know that we're developing new ministries in the midst of coming out of pandemic together. And yet we hope that you will make a commitment even now to be involved and to allow Christ to be that priority in not only the way in which you spend your money, but also in the way in which you spend your time and the way in which you serve others through our ministry together. We're going to think about all that here together, about this great cloud of witnesses and the joy set before us that enables us to make these pledges and these commitments, these promises to God and to one another this Sunday in worship. We'll be live streaming from here in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. You can find us on the church website, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And I hope that you'll join us as we continue this exploration of our stewardship season together. My friends, God is doing amazing things in this congregation. God continues to show up, and we are grateful for that opportunity to see Him, to know Him, and to rejoice in Him. God bless you, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.